So the question is, what type of properties do I recommend for investment in Turkey right now in 2024? I would say, that's a good question. That we have basically we have two types of main investments that are happening. Well, in my case, there would be even three. So normally in the real estate sector, you would have two main types of investment. One would be a lifestyle investment, living investment, that you are going to live in this property for yourself. And of course, you would want to invest also in a property that would, appreciate nicely. And in the event that you are going to not live there, you would be able to possibly even rent it out later on. So that would be number one, a lifestyle investment. Number two would be we could classify this as a rental investment. So you would be renting this property out. Now, this gets further classified into short-term and long-term. So let's say there's three types of investments that we're talking about: lifestyle, short-term rental investment, long-term rental investment. So, these are three different types of investments. And if it depends on the client, obviously. If they're looking to do a lifestyle, then that just changes things. If they're looking to do short-term or long-term is obviously you've got a wide variety of properties, and that would be fine. With short-term, there has been considerable changes in the legislation. So since beginning of this year, we've got a new legislation that's come in that has closed down, a huge portion of the Airbnb short-term investment potential out there. So there's that legislation has completely changed the market. So you cannot just go out and buy a investment property now for short-term rental. It has to be, zoned in that way. It would need to have the necessary permissions for it to be used as a short-term rental. So right now, again, to answer the question, I would say that right now you would have to be smart about the property investment. So if it's short-term, you would have to find very good projects that would offer you permission to use those properties as short-term rental, which would be limited right now in the market, which would be very limited. In Antalya, for example, we do have those options available in particular regions. That there is stock available for that, and I think right now would be a very good time to get into the market for that. In Istanbul, again, there's obviously a wide variety of things going on. So in Istanbul, there would be very limited choice as of now for these specific type of investments for Airbnb, options that are available. So what type of investment, could be done is basically, I would say, Airbnb. If that's not possible, then we switch over to long-term and we start looking for the best options for long-term investment that would protect your capital investment and would protect you from possible currency fluctuations too, because that investment would be essentially be paying out in Turkish liras. So you would have to be careful about that. What type of tenant you bring in. Will that tenant stay? For how long will they be staying? What if they end up staying for a very long time? So that raises a lot of questions that can come about. So basically, the other, let's say, fourth type of investment would be the build option, which you've seen probably if you've seen my channel. You've seen me investing seen me basically explaining that option too. So this would be obviously the number one, I would say, on the list. And this is what I specialize in. There's not a lot of people that can offer this in Turkey right now. It's obviously you need to work with the right partner for this. Because things can get slightly complicated if you're not working with the right firm or the right consultants for that. But the upside is that there's a huge potential. There's a huge investment return potential on that. So this is where I would say the number one returns, where you're looking at, easily 40, 50%, 60%, even upwards of 60, 70% of returns on a development project. Let's say if you were to do a build, whether it's a single home or a villa, or if it's an apartment of multiple units that you're doing, like 10, 15, a smaller project, or you're doing multiple villas on a piece of land, right? So that's where I would say is the maximum return, where you're getting within 1 year, 1.5 years to 2 years, let's say, if it's a bigger project.